How are you incentivizing team members to stay? If they're as valuable as they sound to me, are you offering any profit sharing, equity, anything along those lines?
Yeah, we do profit sharing with them, and we do all open book. And again, we profit based on all the organizations as a whole. So even when we start some of our virtual markets, some of our people in brick and mortar are going to benefit from that. And they, of course, help in many ways, sometimes through training, sometimes through overflow, but more of just being part of our process and being part of the team long term. I think a lot of times, if we are just looking at bonusing people, using cash as that own reward, there's a couple of things we pin ourselves in on that. The number one reason that people are with you is because they're looking for meaning. They want to spend their time doing something that matters. And I just had heard a recent survey where they were surveying, what are you looking for and what makes you happy? Having meaningful work was very high up there. We're paid for the problems that we solve. We're paid for the time that we spend, but we do this because it means something to us. So the people that are on that table, they truly care. They care about their clients. They care about each other. They care that they do well. As soon as it becomes about the paycheck, they've kind of already checked out. And I think there's enough work out there, and the sandbox is big enough, not just in our industry, but in every industry. Find something where you can feel like, wow, I'm good at this. I enjoy this. I would get up and do this for nothing. I truly enjoy that. And I think every seat at the table we have right now are people that truly love their work. They feel like they're making a difference, and to them, it's a big reward for them. So that's the first part. And it's not my job to sell it. It's my job to describe it. And if it's something they want, they can buy in and go for it. But if we sell that to them, I think we might be, misaligning ourselves with some of our people. Talk about our focus, talk about the difference it makes. And if that resonates with you, buy in. Then from there, they're all big. Everybody runs their own economies. They have their house, they pay for their car, they're making financial decisions, long-term, short-term, all the time. They get it. Should we do something that only gives us 50% profit margin, or should we focus on the 90% profit margin item, which we all benefit from? And then we talk about it. Sometimes they're like the 50% margin one, half those people take the 90%. Fair enough. Then let's measure that and we'll track that. But they get it. They don't want to put effort in where they're not going to reward long term. But their meaning of reward isn't always cash. Those 50% margin items, that means a lot. That's 25% of our clients, and that means a lot to them. And yes, they do buy those products, and I get it. We can't be around unless they're getting those products. But I want to hear those things so we don't become a purely spreadsheet-driven organization. The spreadsheet tells us how good we're doing to support the operation so we can keep being meaningful in our clients' lives and our employees' lives.
With that sort of autonomy in your organization, how do you maintain consistency per location? Are you maybe visiting sites regularly, or do you have someone from your head office visiting sites regularly and implementing certain standards? Is there anything like that going on?
Great question. One of the upsides when you have a slim product mix is quality control is simpler, right? The client experience is a little bit easier. You know what to expect. It's boiled down. And early on, and I don't go into industries that are going to be very complex. I just can't keep that many plates spinning. I know that about myself. And so we have a lot of control. The quality control is built into how the business itself is structured. But a lot of that, when you have quarterly check-ins within each one of your team and you all get together, part of what we do is similar to meetings you and I have had, is like, update me. What's going on in your personal life? What's going on with family? How are things coming all the way around? Plug us into your life, and then we'll dive in and start with the work stuff. And what we find most of the time is that if people are having some issues at work, there's bigger things that are going on, and they need us to pick up the slack a little bit. Or let us help you out with that. Or, hey, you're taking too much on. Let's, take a step back this quarter. We'll take some of these things on and take a minute and get your feet underneath of you. By doing that, we get a lot of buy-in, and our products are simple. Our services are simple. That when they're dialed in and they're fully engaged, I feel the consistency is there.
That makes a lot of sense. To put together the type of team you have, which is an incredible team, you probably can't pick one of these things, but if you had to pick one, would you say it was as a result of your hiring process or your culture and your ability to build up team members?
Oh, great question. Skills can be taught. Skills can be taught. If I resonate with someone and they resonate about the things that I do, they can feel the pain that some of our clients are going through, and they can resonate with them and communicate with them. They're like, yeah, I can help them. If they can carry with them, like, I know what it's like to have a problem that I can't solve. I know what it's like to feel the way that they're feeling. And I can help them, even though I might still not have answers to my solutions. I can help them. If we can resonate with that, we can teach them any skills. And that's what we look for. Because for us, when you're going to be in organizations, like, we are only here to solve that problem. And how much we make and how long we can be here is based on how efficient we do these things. But make no mistake about it, that's why we're here. Those are the people that we hire and put in those positions. And if they can resonate with me on that, then we're good to go. The rest is just skills that can be taught. And but the less we get, the less we resonate with that, it just becomes a job. Now, in any organization, sometimes it's reception, sometimes it's cleaning, sometimes it's draws. It can be many different things. It doesn't take that high level of resonance. It just takes a high skill set and just deliver well, show up and do a great job. And it's a gift for them to be able to show up, do their job, and not feel like they have to live the core values. And this isn't all their life. This is a job. It needs to be a great job, one they can come, do it, go home knowing they did a good job with really clear job description. But the higher you go, the closer you get to the core of what this company is about. You really need to be there, not just to be part of the team, but for yourself to be in a job where you feel like it matters, because your time does matter. You're not getting it back. It does matter. If you don't feel like it provides meaning for you and it makes a difference, don't do it. Find something else you can do.
You're in a profession or an industry that I think is very important, and you're changing people's lives. So it's maybe a little easier for folks on your team to find that, value in what they do. They may hear customers say, hey, you turned my life around. You really improved my life, or the symptoms I was feeling. Do you think it's possible to create that same type of value or environment in an industry that's maybe thankless? Let's say fast food, for example. I know Chick-fil-A does it.
Right.
So I guess I answered my own question there, but do you think it's easier for you because of the industry you're in?
It's simple in this industry I'm in because there's just a direct relationship with it. But I remember a friend of mine that he ran a business that redid kitchens, and he was like, I do kitchens. What is that about? And it's hard to get really passionate about that. I'm like, where did you have most of your childhood experience? Where did you have where your mom was talking with you? You come home from school and plate of cookies was there, or family dinner table where you sat and talked. I'm like, this is where life is lived. You're at the point where the kids are going to remember all of these memories. You are building the foundation, that the canvas, that the things that are important to you are going to get painted on. I can't see how you can't see that. So I believe it can within most industry. And if not directly you, if you're in a B2B, that business, empowering that business to be able to do that, I believe it could be. But because I build off of that, I really only seek those things out. But that's an interesting question. I don't know. I see a lot of places for that, but that's because that's the first domino that falls. Because eventually somebody in the kitchens, they got to be good at design. They got to be good at customer service, 1,000 things they have to build that I see that are skills that can be taught. But when this person comes in and says, I want to redo your kitchen, what's driving that? There's a bigger purpose. What's driving that? Connect with that person, make this a good experience for them, regardless of what they buy. So it's a good question, but I see those things as simple, but I have a very limited view on industries and
Sure.